What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the PrizePicks picture of the day. Zach held it down Monday through Wednesday. I am back today through Saturday. And we are coming off of a big 38x hit. 6-pick play of the day yesterday. Hit for us with a demon. We've got more of the same today. So this should be a really fun one. We're going to mix some baseball plays with some NBA plays. We're going to start here in baseball. You can see I've got Luis Castillo already loaded in here at more than 5.5 strikeouts. Look, this one's pretty simple. There are some pitchers in baseball where you get a specific number in their K-prop and you just play. It's that simple. When Castillo is less than 6 strikeouts, we're going to play the more 5.5 here. So we are all over this one, 60.5%. I would almost venture a guess that it should be more like 65 based on how he's pitched so far this year. And also given the fact that historically he's been one of the pitchers with a higher, allowed pitch count. He gets a longer leash, works deeper into games because it's been early in the season. We haven't totally seen that just yet. So this 60.5% might be more of a floor for him instead of just his actual percentage. So I love this start here with Castillo more than 5.5. And then we're going to go to my favorite hits plus runs plus RBI, and we're going to go over to the Yankees. And check this out. We've got Soto. We don't have Aaron Judge. So I'm going to put Soto in here. We can see 70.3%. Now, if we went to the fantasy points, Aaron Judge is here with a big advantage. Judge was part of our 6-pick play yesterday, as was Soto. So we're going right back to the well here. Judge is at 56% to get more than 8 fantasy points. I like that, but there's something that I like more than that. And I can see there are already almost 100 of you watching. I'm guessing a lot of you are over on Twitter. So here's what I'll say. Get yourself into the YouTube chat. We're going to give you some time. You can find the YouTube chat either at FTNFantasy Twitter account. You can find it at my Twitter account at AlexBlicka1. Find that YouTube link. Head over to YouTube. If someone can guess the demon play that I like for Aaron Judge at any point in the YouTube chat on this show, I will give it out. Otherwise, it will only be in the Pick'em channel over in the FTN DFS Pick'em channel, or Discord channel. So if you want that demon play that we're going to pair and make this that 6-pick play with 38x, make sure somebody is in that YouTube chat guessing it. It's not that hard to find. And we also did it yesterday. So if you're familiar with it, you know what to do. I'll give you guys time to head over to that YouTube chat. I see a bunch of you still flowing in here. So again, if you want the demon play that I'm going to use for Aaron Judge instead of this fantasy points pick for him, got to ask, you got to guess it in that YouTube chat. From here, we're going to move on to the NBA side of things. Bring up that NBA PrizePicks tool. And we're going to start in my favorite NBA market. We're going to go to the turnovers. We got some good ones here. Nikola Jokic, less than 3.5 is where I'm starting. We've got this. I believe it's around 66, so 64% here. This is just a purely mathematical play. 0 and 3 turnovers in the first 2 games. He averaged 3.0 on the season, 3.2 for the season on the road. The Lakers, only 20th in the NBA this season in opponent turnovers forced per game. So this is just strong all around. And we, of course, know that the turnover picks are always skewed. Their distributions are skewed towards the less than anyway. So this is fantastic all around. Similarly, I like Joel Embiid, less than 3.5. Now, this one's only 16.5% in the tool, but I might even like this one more because there's a little bit of a basketball element here to this one. Number one, Embiid's knee, very clearly not 100%, and it's affecting the way he's playing offense. He's not working in the post as often. He's not driving to the basket as often as he typically does. He's settling for a lot more jump shots. This has a number of effects. Number one, it means when you're settling for jump shots, you're probably not turning it over, right? It's when you're putting the ball on the floor, trying to get to the basket or working in the post that you're more likely to turn it over. But it's also meaning that New York doesn't feel the same need to send an extra man to him. They're not doubling him as often as Embiid has been doubled in historical postseason series, which yet again means he's less likely to turn it over. He is historically, in the playoffs at least, particularly with really good defensive teams like Boston and like this New York team, has struggled when doubled in the postseason. So the fact that he's settling for jumpers, not getting doubled, is another point in the favor of this less than. He also has only turned it over twice in each of the first 2 games. So you're already seeing that play out. And now what we saw in the fourth quarter is Philadelphia became a lot more willing to just let Tyrese Maxey be the leader of this offense, put the ball in Maxey's hands instead of Embiid's down the stretch. Yet another reason to really like this less than. So just like Castillo, I think this 60.5% win probability, probably a lower bound. I would put this one even more around that 70% number. So absolutely love it. But you know what? Less than turnover picks, they're not as fun. So let's find a more than. And we don't have fantasy points in the tool, but I'm going to go LeBron James more than 50.0 fantasy points. Now, what I like to do is when I'm looking at the fantasy points, because we don't have it in the tool, I like to guess what the number is for each player before I go check it out. For LeBron, I guessed 54.5 as his fantasy point number. It's 50.0. So I ran to this 50.0 number. LeBron averaged more than 50 fantasy points a game in the regular season in 35 minutes per game. Now he's playing between 38, 42 in this postseason series. We know he's going to be up at that number. And we also have the historical narrative. Hey, it's LeBron James' first home playoff game in a must-win game. It's not quite an elimination game, but it basically is, because you go down 3-0 to Denver, you got no chance. So he was fantastic last game on the road. I think he'll be fantastic again tonight. So LeBron James more than 50.0 fantasy points. We also already have one guess for this Judge Demon RBI. I do like the RBI, particularly because he hits behind Soto. So if you get Soto, ripping a double into the gap, now all Judge needs is a single for that to come to fruition. It's not my favorite though. If you play this Judge 0.5 RBI, I think that's still a good Demon. It would still take it to 38x, so you're still on track there. But there is one that I like even more. In fact, let me double check that it's still up. Every now and then they take it down right before we go live. As of 12:10, this was still up, so I should double check that it's still there now. And in fact, it is still there. So the one that I love the most is still there. It's similar to the one we played yesterday. Total bases is another guess, another good guess. Not quite. We want the correlation with Soto. Remember that. So what is the Soto pick? 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI. What might the Demon be for Aaron Judge? It might be the last hint I give, but let's see if these guesses can continue to roll in here. And notice once we get this, we will have a 6-pick play in place. I can also see Zach has already posted 3 picks in the Discord as well. He's got Strus more than 21 fantasy points, Austin Reeves more than 25.5 fantasy points, and then Josh Hart under 12.5 field goal attempts. I also really like some of these Josh Hart numbers as well. Earlier in the day, they posted 1.5 threes made. It's not there anymore, but man, did I like that. He had only hit that in 2 of their last 19 regular season games. Would have been really nice to have that. Runs? No, it's not runs. Come on, it's Juan Soto, 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI. What might we try to do with Aaron Judge? So if we get a few more guesses, I'll just give it away. But let's see if someone can still get it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to post all of my 6-pick plays of the day in the Pick'em Discord once we get off the show. But here's the, if you will, the 6-pick play of the day. So I already gave out these 3 NBA picks. Embiid less than 3.5 turnovers. Jokic less than 3.5 turnovers. We've got LeBron more than 50.0 fantasy points. We've got Luis Castillo more than 5.5 strikeouts. Juan Soto more than 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI. And then the Demon that I like for Aaron Judge, more than 2.5 hits plus runs plus RBI. We had that flipped yesterday, right? We had Judge 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI, Soto 2.5. The reason for that is because yesterday Soto didn't have a 1.5 hits plus runs plus RBI prop available. Judge did. Today they flipped that around. So we're just going to flip it around as well. We're going to go to the Demon for the guy that we can't get the regular hits plus runs plus RBI prop for. Sometimes it's that simple. 38x. We hit it yesterday. Hopefully we hit it again today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will catch you next time.